Peace and Islam. Welcome unto the Amexem-Moor-Empire, Department for the Communications, Moore's Internet, Televideo-Network, or M.I.T.N for short. It is part of the Imperial Broadcasting Agency. For the record, today's date is Peace Day, the 3rd of Gudana, the year 301-630 on the Amexem-Moor calendar. I am the Noble Tina with Ill. I serve as the lead video broadcast agent, and I shall be your hostess for this video broadcast segment. Today, we are continuing the Amexem-Moor-Empire perspective. This is segment 16, entitled Next Steps. So it is my honor and my privilege once again to welcome back to our segment His Imperial Majesty and an Anu Bey. Peace and Islam, Your Imperial Majesty.
Peace of night, Islam, Noble Tina, thank you for having me.
Islam, my pleasure. So, getting right into it, Next Steps is our segment for tonight. And basically, we are covering current events and any updates within the Amexem-Moor-Empire, or any updates within the 4 countries within the empire. Islam.
Next steps regarding operations. Next steps regarding operations then.
Operations.
Islam. All right. In the service of all of you, I give thanks that the Imperial Council and I do our duty, obligation, and responsibility within the rigors of the Amexem-Moor-Empire Imperial Government Fiscal Budget Law. In this instance, the new one, Annual Fiscal Budget Law 301-630, almost in effect for a month at this particular point. For the most part, what we have been working on is the expansion of our food growth and trade operations empire-wide. We have been working on the peripherals to that. We have been working to acquire additional equipment, materials, and supplies to advance particular trainings and to use new techniques so we can upgrade our process protocols and procedures. So I'm happy to report to you that we do have the 2 orchards, the apple orchard and the avocado orchard in the Kenyatta district, particularly in the Karadan city. So we had planted 100 of the avocado trees first. That was just about 14 earth months ago. And about 7 earth months ago, we planted the apple trees. So all 100 of the avocado trees, we had no issue with their growth. And now they're about 4 feet tall. They're doing all right. In terms of the apple trees, when we planted them last summer, it was 100 other saplings, and 92 of them survived. We lost 8 of those particular tree saplings. And we just recently funded their replacement. So we have been working to make particular changes in how we can resolve particular issues with the herbivores and the insects. In this case, the aphids. The aphids did a number on some of our apple trees, and we lost some of them. Between that and the root systems not fully developing as we would have hoped. So we've got some ground to cover. Here in the North Amexem, we're also expanding our food growth and trade operations abilities into new command areas and expanding our capacity in other places where we already have it. So New Toledo is now awaiting the shipment of food growth operational equipment. And after that, we'll start to deploy non-GMO seeds into that particular command area. Then we'll increase our capacity in New Toledo. Thereafter, we shall advance our Fuqua operations into the Anishinaabe, expand Fuqua operations in the Tamara, the Al-Fatiha, the Mu-Atlantis. And we'll see what things are going in Sanhaja. And then we'll start to increase electrical power generation. Currently, as per a recent discovery, a recent discussion with District Governor from the Albion District in Sector 5, we're looking to see if we can find a way to acquire and deploy additional diesel generators that will be for actually Sector 4 with an assist from Sector 5. So we're looking at the acquisition of perhaps 10 of these diesel generators for Sector 4. That will expand our ability to provide electrical power generation for internal operations and for our nationals. Now, I know it's not a lot of capacity. It's better than zero, and we'll build out from there. So, given where certain things are for us, we have been focusing primarily on Fuqua operations and water treatment and the storage of all that we grow and all that we treat in terms of water for general water supply, tactical water supply, and strat water. From there, we're going to begin to advance into other aspects, i.e. we will delve deeper into the line items of the fiscal budget law to acquire additional things for our healthcare system, to acquire equipment, materials, supplies, not only to support our healthcare operations, also acquiring additional equipment, materials, supplies for us to track weather and to provide additional methods of electrical power generation beyond the diesel generators. Finally getting into the axial flux motor scenario. And because of the recent updates that we have received, there has been progress with our prototype production for the axial flux systems. Electrical aspect was one thing. It was the machinist scenario that we had to get sorted out. And those things apparently are either in process or about to be in process. So it's only a matter of time before we start producing not just prototypes, actually producing for tradability or trade acquisitions, our axial flux motors that will be able to provide another vector to make electrical power generation an option. So we are huge on biodiesel fuel within the Amexem-Moor-Empire, which is why we're big on diesel generators. We're also big on having options to that. The fuel cell technology and the axial flux motor technology are the vectors that we will be looking to use. So that's what I'll speak on regarding next steps. There are some things, of course, with the expansion of the Imperial Learning Agency being able to provide our training for all levels 1 through 14, in foreign venues they would call that pre-K through 12. Levels 1 through 14 will be able to make things available online. So eventually we can have training from the Imperial Learning Agency here in the capital city to all command areas across the planet at different time intervals. That's where we're going as fast as I can get us there. So those are some of the things that I would include in next steps. Now I can go for hours on all these things that we're doing, from the Azania Montebello district into the Ghana Songhai district into the Zanaga district. We have to get things operational in South Mexico and Chipchas district, advancing things as best we're able to in the Albion district before we make the jump into the Al-Andalus district. Sort things out for the Mero district as well, and definitely all across North Mexico here. It's only a matter of time before we get a few things squared away also, where we can sort out things with the Cebu Cavite district. Cebu Cavite is a different scenario entirely, because what we're going to be growing there is sugarcane, basically, and getting our fishing boats in the water. So we're going to discuss those things a little further in detail as we go forward towards those things becoming our reality. So based on what you asked me initially, that's about as far as I'm prepared to go. However, I'll provide you with follow-on questions that I might be able to flesh things out for you a little more, depending on what you ask and how you ask it. Islam.
Gratitude once again for taking the time. Just heard of the online learning that's in progress, and I'm excited for that. Would you care to share any further information regarding that?
I can to a degree.
Yes.
I leave those things to distinguished noble of the Imperial Court on L. I just tend to stay in my lane because there's a certification process if you want to be certified to be an instructor within the Amexem-Moor-Empire Imperial Learning Agency, or if you'd like to be a para. So there are those that have special needs for their development, and that is one level of instructor. And then you have the standardized instructor. Formerly, they would call them school teachers. We call them instructors within the Amexem-Moor-Empire, to be able to instruct our youth in our rote system, to be able to instruct our youth in various fields of science and other aspects of study, the mathematics, basically STEM as some would call it, the science, technology, and things of this nature, the basis of engineering. Now, I do brag about the Ulema for the Imperial Learning Agency because she is award-winning in underwater robotics. So our offspring, in my view, are in excellent hands. And it is my insistence that our offspring be polyglots, where they speak at least one language and one dialect, preferably at least one language and two dialects, or two languages and one dialect. Point is, they have to be able to speak in a multilingual fashion. We are way behind in particular things. I have not mastered international sign language, and none of hours in the day. I'm not making excuses. I'm just laying out the truth here, because I'd like to be signing while we are having discussions like this, so those who may be hearing impaired will be able to participate more directly. I regret that I'm not able to do that at the moment, and we don't have anyone in the venue on this side of the ocean that is trained sufficient to do it. We'll get there. In the meantime, we will work with what we have. I'm going to leave my response there for now. Do you have any follow-on questions for me at this point, Noble Tina?
That shall suffice. I am super excited for all these wonderful plans that we have for our future. And I thank you for taking the time to just answer these questions. This is also my invitation for our audience who are interested. Please look into all this information that's being presented. And, you know, there is a lot of talks about individuals losing their day trades and things of that nature. So where you feel left out in other venues, we are literally welcoming everyone. All of our fellow Amexem-Moor-Empire nationals are welcoming all the heterosexual Moors within the globe into our empire. And also, it's so much work for us to do. And whatever you feel left out elsewhere, you are welcome here. So please, thank you for taking the time to view this segment. More information regarding this segment and any imperial government operations down to the local level. More information can be found on the modernmoormonarchy.squarespace.com. That site again is modernmoormonarchy.squarespace.com. I want to take this moment to thank you for any positive comments or feedback. We encourage you to share this link for this segment and all the other segments with all who you associate with. On behalf of the Amexem-Moor-Empire Nationals empire-wide, I want to take this moment to say thank you. all across the planet, peace, great health, and prosperity upon all of you and upon all of us. And with that, I just want to take another moment to present my thanks to His Imperial Majesty for coming on the segment and taking the time to answer my questions in the service of all of us nationals empire-wide. So with that, we say thank you, His Imperial Majesty, and to all our audience. And with that, we say peace and Islam.